Yeah.
Of course, I'm looking at Imager when we go live.
Turn off your imager. All right.
No such thing.
I can't do it.
I want to make sure that it goes live over there before I start anything because I was having a problem Thursday.
Of course, I'm looking at.
She's basically looking at Daryl Dixon
when
cat.
we go live. No, it's glitches in video game stuff.
All right. The sound sounds pretty good to me. All right. So I will do the intro. You're last, Red.
Okay.
Hi guys, and welcome to Infinite Respawn, our podcast. I'm Elite Chicken.
Nah, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
And I'm Red.
Sorry.
Sorry, it was a different intro.
Yeah, can I?
Don't judge me.
Don't
judge.
touch me.
I said don't judge me.
Oh, I was like, don't touch you. Nobody's touching you. Calm down, man.
Well,
Don't start with me.
You can't touch
Either.
this. No.
that did not take long.
I gotta stop looking at Imager.
Yes, put Imager away.
It's a bunch of video game glitches and it's hilarious.
Yeah, stop
Sorry.
looking at Imager.
At least I was looking at something relevant.
Not when we can't see it.
I know,
I
right?
linked it in chat.
Oh, you see, now you're just mean. Because now I'm going to click.
I know, right?
Don't do it. It's a lot. I had to stop halfway through. It's a lot of pictures in that gallery.
Don't go to Imager. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's an addiction.
It really is.
Do go to
Oh my
Imager.
God.
It's wonderful. I'll link it again since new people just got here.
No,
because...
don't leak it. We don't need them to leave. Don't go to that.
Don't go to that.
The
It's
heck happened to the
hilarious, though.
Sim baby?
Oh boy.
I don't know. Dude, don't look at
It's
it.
turning into Slenderman. I swear.
Stop looking at it. Okay,
look at
we
it.
gotta get.
It's gonna be 45 minutes of us looking at Imager, and then we'll start. Sorry, guys.
Most efficient podcast ever.
Here's a warning for those of you who've never been on Imager. Guess what? It's addictive. It's worse than crack. You're like, one more image, and 2 hours later, you're like, one more image, and 2 hours after that, you're like, I swear I really need to go to bed. Let me just click one more time. 2 hours later, the sun's up, and you're like, fuck, gotta go to work now.
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, I don't even go to Imager. But Griff and I'll be hanging out, and I'll go over, and she'll be looking at the Imager, and I'll be like, "Oh, what are you looking at? Oh, that's pretty funny." And she just keeps clicking through. I can't have a conversation
stop.
with her. She just keeps clicking.
Hey, you
and I
want to
just
talk
keep
about not
looking.
having conversations? We'll talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
your addiction too, okay?
No one taught her about the arrows yet, have they?
No, I do. No, I use the arrows.
Yeah, she's,
Oh, okay. I'm like, because she just starts going, no. No.
No one's taught her about the auto scroll yet.
Shut up, chicken.
Yeah, I don't need to know about any.
Yeah,
other
all I
stuff.
do is just kind of sit back, put it on auto scroll, and it's like a little slideshow. Cool.
It's a slideshow
Cool.
of entertainment.
Yeah, but
Cool.
some of them are really long, and you have to like scroll down and read the rest of it.
If it's too long for the auto scroll, it's not worth it. You just move on. There's like 25 billion pictures. Can we stop talking about Imager?
Yes.
Ivy spent 5 hours.
Yes. See, it happens. You just lose track of time. You're like, I'll be done here in a minute. No, it's never a minute.
Oh, this DIY project? Oh, it's a 50-picture slideshow? Okay, I'll just start going through it.
Now-
Or
now-
things
now-
like recipes. You find really good food on Imager too,
In-
and it's like, here's
in
how to make
Griff's
this.
defense-
We're still going.
In Griff's defense, though, she will look at it and she'll go too many words and click the next one.
Too long, didn't
And-
read.
Yeah,
TLDR.
yeah, and then
TLDR.
and then the other one, and then she'll look at it, she'll go too many damn pictures, unless it's something good, like the video game thing that she's clicking, and otherwise she'll go too many pictures and click on. So
I keep saying hi because new people keep showing up, but I feel weird about it. I'm like a broken record. Hi guys. Hi guys.
just say
No,
what?
really,
Hello.
hi. Hello. I'm like the best greeter ever. Anyway, what's everybody been playing this week? Let's talk about some show stuffs.
All right. Let's see. I played Fallout earlier in the week. I wandered around the wasteland. I found the fucking Republic of Dave. It's like
Like
it's like
Crazy
three,
Dave from Plants vs. Zombies?
I guess it's like 3 fucking houses and a guy who calls himself
tacos.
President Dave. I thought about killing him, but I'm just like, I don't want the people from this place to seep into the wasteland, so I'm just gonna leave them here in their fence and move on. Let's see. I played that. I played some Warhammer Vermintide. Highly recommend it. It's like fucking Chivalry and Left 4 Dead. Yeah, meet and had a baby and with Warhammer. It's really good.
Shovel Dead.
Shivel dead. Shivel dead. Let's see, what else did I... Oh, we played Damned. If you missed our Damned...
Oh my God.
We really need to go back and highlight some stuff from that. I'll have to do that tomorrow.
If you missed our Damned stream, damn you. It was great.
You're taking my puns away, you bastard.
Hey, if I do them, that means you can't.
I did them on Twitter
though,
right
nobody
afterwards.
wins.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just waiting to have a night where I'm gonna have a nightmare and all I'm hearing is Griff giggling down a hallway trying to murder me.
Yeah, if you didn't get to watch it, this is kind of what started the whole thing. Is the chicken was the first two monsters, and the way the game works, we've discussed it on the show before, but just to reiterate, basically the way the show works is the game works is this: is you've got 5 people that are playing, 4 of which are essentially trying to escape an area that the only type of light or anything that you have is a flashlight. Everybody's got one flashlight, and you're trying to escape a monster, and the other person's randomly generated as a monster. Well, Chicken was the first 2 monsters, so we said, no, you can't be the monster anymore. We need to give everybody else a chance. So he chose a character, and then Griff was the next one. Now, this has got to be some of the funniest shit I ever heard in my life, is because we had no idea where she was at. Well, neither did she, because she was lost. And so we're playing the game, and all we hear from our end of it, and like Red and I are both kind of freaking out and laughing at the same damn time, because all we hear is she's trying to kill people. It's hilarious. And I did go back and watch some of the video. I've never seen Chicken freaked out before. There were parts where he was freaked out.
Hell yeah. Oh my God, that game definitely brings out the scary.
To be fair, Red was unsettling too. Like everybody else is trying to be all creepy with their ghost, or time as the bad guys. So they'd be like, "Oh, I'm stalking you," blah 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 blah. And Red's like, "I'm over here with your cookies. I'm gonna kill your face." It's like, oh my God, it's the sweetest, most like, unsettling nonsense ever.
The worst part is like the second time around when I got the fallen, because I said this off stream, I'm like, I was only saying half the shit that was screwing with Griff. Somebody else was being a dick to her. It wasn't even just
I was sitting there going,
I kept hearing whispers. It was so crazy.
And I'm like, it's not me. I'm just gonna go with it. Just let them scare her. It'll be fine.
I was terrified. There was things whispering.
Well, it made it worse too, because you were being like all nice and kind about Griff, I'm coming to get you, and then I was sitting there, I'm just like, Griff.
Baka's was creepy. Like,
yeah.
He's just so hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, I'm gonna kill you today.
Can you hug me, please?
No, I can't. Run away.
He would just stand at the door, stand in the door as he got married both times. I just realized that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threatened me with Colonel Sanders. It was terrifying. I've never been so scared in my life.
Aww.
We do need to do that again sometime, though, because that
Absolutely.
was so much fun.
Oh my God, it was crazy.
So much
good.
fun. We need to do it when I've got more time, though, because I'd like to be, instead of just a couple hours that we were able to do it, like do it for a while. Because I want to figure out the maps too.
There are so many maps. We only played like 3 of them, and there was like 4 of them, and there was like 15 of them.
Well, but I'd like to figure them out too, to where we're like, okay, hey, we know that the keys are here. We can get to the next, give us
keys
a better.
Keys are randomly spawned in anywhere. There's like,
oh shit.
Yeah, like it's so hard to figure it out. You're like, drawer, door, close that door. Monster walks by.
Like the only thing I knew where anything was the kitchen. Like I could get to the kitchen in that one level, no matter what.
I could hide in the cupboard.
The scary thing is when we were in the one big one, I think it was the asylum, where it had a bunch of long hallways and a crap ton of locked doors. I heard Griff coming by, so I freaked out and I got inside the door and I had my light on the window, and all I see is this little thing going, like, stay in here, don't open the door for any reason.
Yep, I did that. It was glorious. You just see it walk by. You're like, did it go? Oh, there it goes again.
Nope, there she is. Bye. Nope.
You keep hearing her giggle. I wait till it goes away and then kind of like open the door and then run. Like, I need to get out of
was
here.
like the key master. He had like every single key.
Yeah, he walked into the room and there were like 25 keys.
I can't pick all these up, guys. Can somebody come get these?
It's okay. I murdered him and took all the keys.
I was trying to survive. Note to everybody, I am definitely not surviving a horror film with them.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm lost. I don't know where to go. There's a monster here. I'm like, door, key, key,
Yeah.
door.
I'm walking around and it's funny because you're like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the exit. Okay, do we get the right key? No, we don't have the right key. I was like, okay. And about that time, Baka is the one that was the bad guy. And you're like, oh my God, here he is, blah, blah, blah. Like, and Chicken's like, he's around here somewhere, blah, blah, blah. So I hid in the room that's closest to the exit.
You were in there for like 15 minutes.
I was like hanging in there. You're like, where you at? I'm hanging in here. Well, because the thing is the Mary character has like a little cry sound. Like she makes it sounds like a little girl crying. And so I could hear that noise, and that's how I knew he was nearby. And I was like, okay, that's the one thing that I know is a legit sound versus everything else that's fucked up, where you've got, for those that don't know, it randomly generates shit and everybody's hearing different things.
Yeah.
Where like we'll have a high-pitched squeal in our ear, another person will see hands coming up out of the floor, the face that pops up randomly.
But I never saw.
That
Yeah,
I
face.
saw the face.
The
Or the
face.
hands.
The
Face
hands were
freaks me out.
creepy.
I was deaf the whole game.
I
The
can't
little
hear.
ringing in your ears thing.
Yeah.
And all I kept hearing was like, okay, guys, I'm deaf. If she's coming, I'm dead. Good night.
I can't hear it. Help. Or your flashlight starts flickering. You're like, I can't see.
You're at
Stop
like
it.
a strobe party or something.
Well, and you couldn't turn it off either. Once it starts strobing, you can't turn it off.
It's
Yep.
just on. You're like, fuck. One time, Chicken's like, everybody turn your flashlights on. Whose flashlight's still on? Mine's like, I can't help it. It's broken.
I would just like to say, what are videos game like? That is so unrealistic. Flashlights do not die after like 2 minutes. I'm just saying that now.
Well, they're possessed.
If you don't leave them, I mean, seriously, you guys are like, hey, there's a monster. Let me shine my flashlight on it.
Mary,
Hey,
where were you?
it's like turn your
But that's when you
flashlight
need
off.
But that's when you need to turn it off. I mean, here's the like the both times that I was the monster, I could see in the dark, so it didn't really matter that there was a flashlight. The only time, well, let me reframe that. One of the ones I was, which was it the creeper? What
The
was it
lurker?
called? Lurker.
The lurker.
the creeper. You're also that.
Because the lurker, the only time, like you can see the entire world, the entire map as you walk through, but when you go to physical form, that's when I depended on the lights and can come after you the lights. If I wasn't in physical form, then I didn't need the lights, but I couldn't see you either because all I see is the world that's on there, and I'm setting up traps for y'all to hit and everything else. And so, but when I went to physical forms on there, but that shit was, I mean, the game mechanics and everything else on it, I mean, it's a pretty fun fucking game. And I would love to actually see something similar to that go to a console or something like that, to where you have a larger base where people would be doing something, similar. But I don't know. I enjoyed the fuck out of that game.
It was really
Yeah,
fun.
it was
We'll
fun for
definitely do
sure.
it again sometime.
Yeah, Mrs. Tree was going, what the hell are you playing? I was like, what are you talking about? Because all she hears me doing is the Joker laugh. I'm back in the back going, yeah.
Oh my god, that was so creepy.
And she was like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh, we're playing the game. And I explained it to her. And she goes, that sounds scary. And I was like, it is, but it's fun.
Chickens was also creepy because the problem with Chicken was like if it was one of us, we were all making sound effects and stuff. Chicken's like dead fucking silent the
Yeah,
whole time. not saying
silence.
a
You're like,
thing.
where is it? I hear the monster sound effects, but I don't hear Chicken.
I'm like, oh, I'm dead. And he doesn't make any snarky remark or anything about killing me.
Nope.
He's just like, he's dead. Move forward.
Chicken's like a stone cold killer, man. He just
Oh.
walks up, stabs you in the back, keeps walking, doesn't say shit about it.
Who did you play, Lurker or Mary?
I got to play Mary. I wish I could have heard your reactions because I was literally just popping up right next to you,
I was hearing
motherfuckers.
myself on your stream. I'm like, oh god, I sound like a baby right now.
See, I couldn't figure out, like, the teleporter worked, but there's no specific place for the teleporter to send you. Like, you can't push forward and it sends you forward or left or
Yeah.
right or whatever.
Yep.
It was just kind of randomly generated for me. So that's where I was kind of like, okay, I'd much rather just walk around and just use this to get out of rooms that I can't get out of otherwise.
I feel like those certain people don't work on certain levels. Like I felt bad for Baka when he got Mary on that big
That warehouse
open area.
level.
Mhm.
It was so easy to kite him around.
Yeah,
Like half the
that
time I
is
tried to
very
like
true.
just to piss him off.
Yeah, try to get him to teleport quicker.
Right.
Yeah. That was kind of crappy in his part. Well, it was sucked, random generally.
Yeah,
We
Random
won.
rated.
Just saying.
Yeah, it was
Well,
the
Oak
only
was
level
dead the
we
whole
won.
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, I want to say something right now, but I can't. I've been sitting here in silence for like 15 minutes.
Oh.
Well, what else did you guys play?
That's all I played for the week.
Ark,
Oh,
Dodo
Ark.
Rex.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did all the Halloween stuff in Ark this week.
The Dodo Rex.
Griff has a rock party that she didn't know
it-
about.
Get out, please.
I made a pun without realizing I made a pun.
What? Yeah, you did?
I did. Okay, here's the deal. They had gravestones and whatnot that you could pick up, so I picked up like a bunch of gravestones. We're talking there's probably 75 stolen gravestones outside of our house, and scarecrows and whatnot, because Red had made the war drums, which is this big like drum kit thing that if you're on it, the entire tribe can hear you no matter where you're at. It's really awful, but I was like, okay, whatever. I'm distraught. So, because the dodos I had tamed ran away and are probably dead. So I was distraught, and I was gonna make this big art installation, and I put all the tombstones up and scarecrows and pumpkins, so it looks like a big rock concert. Because they're tombstones, and I did not realize.
Yeah, I kept yelling at her. She's like, "Why are you yelling at me?" I'm like, "Do you not even realize the pun that you made?
Nope.
Seriously? You put a bunch of tombstones and you keep calling it a rock concert." Really?
I didn't even realize. Somebody had to I think Chicken explained it to me finally, and I was like, oh, that's not what I meant.
It happened though. It happened.
There were scarecrows and pumpkins in it too. Okay.
Yeah.
It was just largely tombstones.
Largely tombstones.
I wonder if those will stay. I hope they do.
Maybe.
After Halloween. I
They're
don't want them
staying.
to go away.
I think the tombstones and the scarecrows will stay, but the actual event ends tonight.
Okay, as long as my
So,
tombstones
so it's
stay.
basically like if you went out and grabbed them, then you got them. But if you didn't
Pretty
go out
much.
and get them, they're going away.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know if they're gonna go away, but I'm fairly certain they'll keep them just for like a little try. It's
Even
still
if
in
not, it
beta.
would be cool if like next year around Halloween, like the beginning of October, they just suddenly pop up where they were before.
Oh god.
You expand and they just pop up in your house. You're like, "Oh gosh, what the
If
hell?"
we're not playing in a year and someone has our spot and it's still in early access, like, are they like praising the sun god from the top of this hill? What are they doing?
Because this on top of a hill too. It's great.
No,
It's
they're
great.
all they're tombstones for all the animals that you've killed, Red.
Yeah.
There's only one tombstone for all the animals I've killed, so we need a lot more tombstones.
Yeah.
I've killed 1, 2, 3, 4,
You're
5,
not gonna be able to count that high. It's okay.
Yeah,
7.
you don't have enough fingers,
7.
bro.
He's
Yeah,
killed
that's a lot.
7 animals.
I had
8.
no
Forgot
clue.
Scratchy.
Oh my God, Red's
I
not allowed
lost
to
Scratchy. I didn't
dinosaurs
kill
anymore.
Scratchy. I lost Scratchy.
You're
And
not
then
allowed to
Scratchy
touch
died.
dinosaurs.
And then Scratchy died. I didn't kill him. He just died on his own. Sorry, he didn't know how to get back home.
You died out in the water.
He's a dolphin. He better outrun anything that's chasing him.
He's an AI dolphin. He'll probably just swim into the mouth of a megalodon.
AI not the greatest.
No.
Oh lord. Other than that, like Rocket League with the new car update that came out from
What's
the Back to
new
the
car
Future.
update? Oh, they got a DeLorean?
And
Nice.
and when you're actually turboing, if you have full turbo, after 3 seconds, it leaves like this fire trail on the ground for your tires and everything. I'm like,
Nice.
yes!
What'd be cooler is if it like just sent you to the other side of the map.
Real
Oh,
quick, so
Or,
it's
Yeah.
or
Oh,
you
God.
jumped games. You're like, what game am I in now?
Why are we losing? Next game.
Boom! Jump into a different game. Or jump into the end of the game.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I played.
Sorry, watching Red. Hi, Red's mom. I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
Go ahead, Oak.
My mom just walked in the room and I tried to like nonchalantly hide that. I don't think I did.
No.
Uh,
Carry on.
anyway. So
You're like an
playing,
hour early, Cole.
still playing Mad Max.
Mad Max. Still doing that grind thing.
Got that grind going on.
You really got to stop going to the club, man. You're going to run out of dollars.
I know, right? So then I also picked up this game. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Halo 5 this week.
Never heard
Never
of it.
heard of
No
it.
idea.
No,
Sounds like crap.
it's craziness. Yeah, the Halo 5 game was kind of an ordeal to start with because I show up to the 11 o'clock launch because it's not a midnight launch anymore unless you're on the East Coast. So I show up to the 11 o'clock launch and showed up a little bit early. Not a whole lot of people to talk to, really. It was because the way that they do it now, it used to be like this big grandeur thing, right? You show up to a midnight launch and you got like 300 people and it was fantastic. Now you show up and it's like, all right, well, come in, do a pre-check-in. Once you do your pre-check-in, after you get done with the pre-check-in, go ahead and go home for a couple hours and then just come back and then get in line when we tell you to. I mean, that's what it is
There's
now.
no like hype anymore.
Yeah,
There's like standing in line with all of your friends and fans, and everybody's talking, getting ready to get their game. It's just sign your ticket, go home, come back, pick it up.
I will say, I don't know if it's because it's Nintendo or not, but I feel like Nintendo midnight releases are so much more fun. Like when the Pokemon release dropped, everyone was playing the 3DSs. When Smash Brothers was dropping, everyone was inside having a tournament. I'm just like, it was so much more fun for like Nintendo stuff because everyone's just happier.
Everybody's happier.
They are. It's Nintendo. You can't be mad with Nintendo unless you're trying to play something online.
Well, the thing that killed me too is, the new WWE game released at the same time. There were
How many people were there for that?
A good amount.
Is Stone Cold back or something? Did I miss something? I stopped watching like 10 years ago.
I don't. Evidently so, because he's on the cover of the thing, or maybe it's just like that's the only iconic face that they own at the moment.
I saw the PG.
Own your face.
So
back in my day, Stone Cold didn't have to do this. He could use all 4 of his fingers.
So I went ahead and picked up. I was like one of the first ones in line, so I went ahead and got the game, and I'm heading home, and I'm not kidding. Like I'm leaving the parking lot because I was one of the first ones. I'm leaving, and there's like this caravan behind me, because everybody lives kind of in the same area. So there's like 10 cars behind me, and I'm driving where I need to go. And I didn't know if I just needed to honk a bunch and just see if everybody else did the same thing, kind of as like a big parade.
No.
So we're driving down. I get on the main road. When I get on the main road, I still got the caravan behind me, but I turn off, and everybody else keeps going. And I get home, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and start this loading in, which, everybody knows that Xbox One has, a bit of a load time anyway when it comes on there. First thing that pops up is the patch. And I was like, okay, well, that's all online content, so fuck it. I'm not going to worry about that. Install later. Boom. So it starts loading. Well, normally about 25-35% is when it'll start telling you, go ahead and start the game, right?
Yeah.
So it goes in, 25-35% comes along, and it said still installing. And I was like, shit. Okay. 50% then. It's going to get to 50%. I'm going to be able to start the game. We'll be able to go. We'll be good, right? No problem. 50% comes along. No. Now, remember, I get the game at 11 o'clock. All right. It is now close to midnight. And I'm trying to find other things to do, whatever. And then finally, I was like, okay, it's loaded 100%. And then it pops up a thing. It says you need to download this update before you can do anything. So I still had to download the 9 gig update before I could do anything. I was like, you sons of bitches. So I went to download the update. Now here's the fun part. I click on it, and when I click on it, it says loading. All right, it's starting to install, and I was like, fantastic. All right, turn around, walk away, come back, 5%, and then it says stopped downloading, and I was like, what the fuck? So then I click on it again, and it says, sorry, unable to update. What? Why is this a thing? Why are you not able to update? What is going on? So then I was like, oh, this is okay. I'll just turn it off, start it back up. There's something that's messed up. It's not registering. Okay, I got it. So I go in, I click on it. When I do, it gets to 5% again and says stopped. I was like, son of a bitch, I'm about to throw something. All right. Well, then we get to the fact that now when I click on it and it says, do you want to check your diagnostics? I said, yes. Well, if you remember, mine is currently wired. It's not wireless. I had put the wire in the back of it so I could get, because of problems I'd had with an update before. So it says, do you want to check your settings? And I said, sure. So I checked the internet connection. It says, sorry, your wireless hardware cannot be registered. And I was like, I'm wired. You even say wired on the fucking screen. What's wrong with you?
Why you do this?
Why you do this? So I was like, God damn it. What's going on? Well, so I soft reset the thing. That didn't work. I unplugged the son of a bitch, plugged it back in, still didn't work. I'm going to kill somebody. So I go online, onto Xbox Live, go through their entire checklist. I'd done everything except one thing, which was go find a 2 gigabyte jump drive, download this program, and go through for diagnostics. And I was like, fuck you, I'm not doing that shit. I'm going to send this shit off before I do that. Well, what ends up happening is the entire time I'm doing this, the reason it wouldn't download is because after I reset it, it was downloading. So it was telling me, hey, you stupid fuck, I'm already downloading. I can't do it twice. So what I noticed was the percentage going up, and it just happened to hop while I was looking at it once. So I got that. I had to play it the next day. Now, I've played the game. I've enjoyed the game. I understand why some people are upset. It didn't the plot line doesn't bother me. What's going on with it doesn't bother me. The only thing that bothers me with is this. There is no bridge other than a comic book between 4 and 5.
Yes.
That's
Which
the
is a
problem.
problem.
That's the problem I have. With the game itself, I have no issues. There's some really cool features they've added into with the Spartans. You've got they've got the Spartan charge where you can bust through a wall and shit now, which is pretty fucking cool. It also comes in handy too for a melee attack, even in multiplayer, which I've played the multiplayer, which is still fun as hell. And they've got one where you jump up in the air and you do like a Spartan dive, and you dive down and you can damage the bad guys around you, which is pretty cool. And then the weapons they've changed. The assault rifle is better built, thank God. You know, and but the game itself is fun. It looks like a Halo game. It feels like a Halo game. Everything about it is it. So my suggestion is this: if you like Halo and you want to play the game, go fucking play the game. Don't listen to anybody else that says anything about it. Just play the game if you like it. Rent it, buy it, doesn't matter to me. But
I'm
like
gonna rent it, but I've read the whole synopsis and it's like, you know.
Yeah, but you've read the synopsis of somebody's opinion that's on there. I mean, somebody has an opinion of.
No, I mean I've read the plot line. Not,
I read the
not
wiki,
somebody's
yeah.
opinion. I've read what happens.
Right, but it's written by somebody that has an opinion of the way it's written.
It's
It's just
no, it's not like a synopsis. I didn't go read a review, which I did read those as well. I read the actual like this is what happens. It's like reading a book and saying you can't read it that way because it's the writer's opinion. That's fact. That's what happens.
okay.
Well, I definitely want to rent it and play it, but my thing that turns me off of it the most is that I really dislike one feature that keeps getting mentioned, the down feature in a Halo game.
Yeah, the
I
revive
don't-
feature, that's weird.
I really don't feel, well, I haven't played it, which is why I want to rent it so that I can feel it myself, but I really don't feel like that's going to fit into, because I like it when you die, you start over. Like,
well,
that's
you start
it.
at the checkpoint, you respawn.
Yeah,
It's not
you
like
start at the checkpoint. And if you play on Legendary, you go down, you have to hope to fucking God that your teammates can run over and get you up, or your teammates get down and you have to try and get them up, or...
the only problem with having the AI do that, and this is any game because it happens in Left 4 Dead 2,
Yes.
and things like that, is like you're down and the AI is like, I understand that you're dying. Give me a minute. I'll get right on that. And then by the
Oh.
time they're running to you, they're almost dead, and you're like,
That
Chickens.
happened in Vermintide
Yep.
so many
Yeah.
fucking times. Me
But
and
it would
Baka are
happen-
down, and then they're just like twirling their dicks over in the corner. They're like, "Help us!" And then they die.
Well, but now with this, I will say this: like with that feature that's on there, it saved me several times and allowed me to get through certain levels. But it doesn't feel like a friend playing, but it feels as close as it can. Does that make sense? It doesn't feel like older AIs to where it's like you're setting up and going, you know, hey, I'm gonna sit over here and just kill monsters. I don't give a shit if you need help or not. It's one of those where they legit will come over and try to save you, and your teammates will die. I mean, you've got to save
yeah,
them too.
no, but they respawn instantly if they die.
No, they do not.
But
They do not respawn. They do not respawn until you have finished that level, that area.
I mean, well, in that case, then fine, I'm Master Chief. I'm a one-man army anyway.
yeah, that's what I
bitches.
was gonna say. I kind of like the feeling of it being a one-man army. I don't want to have to rely on them to come save me. If I die,
Nathan
it's
Fillion
my
might die.
own. Yeah, fuck it. If I die, I want to restart over and work my way through the map. I don't want to have a handicap and 3 other teammates to come save me if I fuck up. If I fuck up, I'm gonna start over, just like I have in every other Halo game.
Well, all you got to do is not ask for help.
Oh, can you do that?
Yeah, you
Okay.
just
They're
ask
still with
ask
you,
for
though.
help if you start to go down, and then they're not going to come help you if you don't ask for it because they don't know.
Well, one of the things that I was reading, one of the ways that somebody did it, that he wanted the true, like, I want to do this by myself experience. So at the start of every level, he would tell his unit to go ahead and run in. So they would all run in and shoot me, you know, maybe shoot some people and whatnot, but eventually just die so that he could go in with them out of the way.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm down for that. As long as there's a way to get rid of your teammate so that I can be a one-man army again.
Well, but I mean
What
that's
a
the thing is, it's there. Some of them it almost feels like, because when I played through the first time, because I wanted to make sure I finished through the game, you know, before we got to the show, so I could actually, you know, have an actual educated opinion on it by actually playing through it. And when I play through on normal versus playing through on heroic, it's like they got dumber between the two. It's like, oh, on normal, we're going to help you out. We're going to do what you need to and all that stuff because you need the help. When you get to heroic, it's not as much. It's almost like, oh, we're here for you if you go down, but we're not going to help you kill. We're stormtroopers essentially at that point. But the easier level, they're not as stormtrooper-esque. They're going to give you some kills and some assists and stuff like that, but they don't take a lot from you. So you can go through it. And actually they've got a lot of conversation going back and forth, especially with Locke's group. There's a lot of conversation going back and forth that gives you some of the plot line and stuff as you go through, which I liked too. Because Cortana did that before. Who the hell is going to do it now? And so this kind of yeah.
Speaking of Cortana, we got to talk about this, guys.
Here we go.
So,
oh God!
This week,
No, you need to ask the question. You need to ask the question before
what
you talk.
question?
Why he answered that?
Why he answered? Like, did the question I asked the other thing? Does this bother you? Did it ever bother you? And
yeah, basically what happened was Frank O'Connor came out and was like, you know what? Let's talk about why Cortana's naked. Did anybody, and this is to chat, guys, because we've already talked about it amongst ourselves. Did any of you look at Cortana and go, oh my God, she's naked?
I feel so off-put.
Yeah, because, well, here's the reasoning, is Frank was like, basically, it's because she decided to display herself that way so that, you know, she put you off your guard a little bit and demanded attention from you in that respect, and you felt bad for, like, looking at her, and it was, you know, so that she could have the upper hand in conversation.
I never felt that.
I never thought she was naked.
Here's the interesting thing apart about it, and I you know, we've had some time since the beginning of the show, just before when we were talking about this, and to now, and I started thinking about this as well. According to what he said that every AI decides what they're going to look like, appearance, what they're wearing, whatever it happens to be, based on their personality. Who the fuck goes, I want to be a World War II pilot because that's part of my personality?
One of them is a wizard too, and the thing is like, you're talking about
wizard.
You're talking about AI that you've never showed us in the game, and nobody ever responded to Cortana as, like, within the constructs of the game, nobody ever responded to Cortana as though she was naked and they were put off by her. Everybody that interacted with her spoke to her like another human being. Nobody ever was like, oh, naked girl, what do I say? What do I do? Oh my God, she's got power over me because her tits are out. And it's like, they're not. And nobody ever treated her that way. So why is this?
I think it also, like, just you also like develop a relationship with Cortana over so long. Like, for instance, when I saw her in Halo Combat Evolved, I saw her purely as a stream of data going through something. I saw her as like a robot AI doing this, that. You take Cortana with you through Halo Combat Evolved, through Halo 2. You develop a relationship. You don't picture her as naked. You picture her as a voice in your head, a female entity who is always guiding you. Especially in Halo 3, when you lose Cortana and you're trying to save her from the Covenant ships and the Flood.
Gravemind.
And she's just talking to you, losing her sanity. I don't see her as a naked woman trying to take control over me. I see her as this personality I've known for so long I'm trying to save.
Yeah, she's your companion. You're going after her. She's not naked.
Yeah.
And even outside of Master Chief, like I said, nobody, Sergeant Johnson, Keyes, anybody else that ever had interactions with Cortana, nobody ever treated her like she was some weird naked chick.
If anything, they put her in check because they were saying we need to get rid of her. She's done. She's dead. Get rid of her. We're not scared of her.
No, that was only a few key people, but most people treated her just like, you know, anybody else on the team. Like, they spoke to her the same way they spoke to people like Johnson or Keyes or anybody else. It's like,
oh, Johnson. Oh wait, he's alive.
No, he's not.
Spoiler: no, he's not.
It's Halo 3. He
died in the end of 3.
He
the
sacrificed himself.
No, the Oracle killed him.
Yeah,
that's right. I got it mixed up.
He
I'm
took
sorry.
the first shot from him. Yeah, that's right.
And
I totally got that.
Then he's like, "Here, Chief," gives you a Spartan laser, and then he dies. Rest in peace,
Mm-hmm.
my brother.
Guilty Spark, totally cool. Just saying, still kind of cool.
No, he Spartan lasers him and he kills Johnson.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, after he killed Johnson, it's like, no, there's no redemption for you. Sorry.
Poor Johnson.
Whatever happened to the? I just realized something. Whatever happened to that guerrilla group that was involved with the Covenant? What's their names?
The Brutes.
Brutes. Did they get completely overthrown after Halo 3?
think
We put
after
them
the
in check
Prophets
in Halo
die.
2 because we took out their main guy. The end fight of Halo 2 was fighting
The Prophet.
Tartarus or something.
Oh yeah, Tartarus.
Prophet of Truth
Whatever
was
his
in
name
3.
was.
Their leader. They
It
were
was the big brute guy that
prophets.
basically helped brand Arbiter and everything. He was the big leader, and we took him out at the end of 2, and they kind of became less of an issue. What? Making
I smacked my hand
faces.
at the rubber band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then
I was like, did I say something that was outrageous?
No, you were completely accurate with that.
Yeah, you're correct. And then in Halo 3, your attention shift basically, because now you're working together with Arbiter's group and stuff like that. So
I just still found it weird though, because even when you played Halo Reach, there was no sign of brutes, correct?
no.
brutes. Well, you got to remember with the Covenant is a group of aliens that have joined together.
Yeah.
So it's not really clear where the brute group came in, but it is obvious that particular prophet was the one that brought them in, and it was probably to overthrow the other prophets.
I
mean, we still dealt with brutes in 3 though. They were
Yeah,
still
we-
around.
yes.
They weren't as big of a deal.
Okay.
Right.
I just can't remember where the homeworld is, and because I know that we destroyed the Holy City, I just can't remember what their homeworld was.
Yeah, for theirs, I'm not sure. Now, like in the newest Halo, you still are dealing with Covenant. You're still dealing with Prometheans from Halo 4.
Why do they?
There's a reason. Read the books.
Read the comic books.
And then you also get to there are some other recurring characters that you'll get to see. I want to make sure I say that without
Yeah,
spoiling.
no spoilers. Keep those off to the
Yeah.
side.
I'm actually addressing a spoiler thing right now.
She's typing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first Mortal said something about spoilers for people new to the Halo franchise. The first game was 2001. Halo 3, which is what we were still giving spoilers about, was 2007. So I think we're past the point where you need to worry about spoilers. If you don't know what happens in Halo 1 through 3, which is the main ones that we were talking about spoiler stuff, you're way late to the party.
Yeah.
And the other thing about it is I don't think we gave enough information. I mean, we're talking about the Cortana and all the other stuff, but I don't think we gave enough information to where it would spoil those lines. And I think that when it comes
We
to
just talked
Halo,
about the end of Halo 2.
yeah, but even then, Halo 1, 2, well, and even in Halo 2 actually leads straight into Halo 3.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
which this one leads into whatever the next.
Yeah, that was also one of the downsides that some people had issues, is they felt like they didn't get enough answers within Halo 5 because it largely set up for Halo 6.
And then they wrap it up in a comic book and
go
start
to
over
Halo
again. I
God,
swear,
it
if
sounds
they
like
do
Watch
that
Dogs
again,
all over again.
I don't think they'll do that again. I really don't. I don't.
Who is
It's 343. They've been doing some pretty stupid.
Well, I
For
just
instance,
hope that they, to Halo 5 into Halo 6 rather than cut it off and then put it on the shelf. Let's start creating a universe again and get your games all together.
Even if you do something like, Halo Evolutions was, where you had these backstories and stuff that were going on with that, and you created a cartoon series for that. If you had done something in between, it's similar to, if you think about it from it's one of the stories we bypassed last week, which was the fact that the head of 343 wants to create this more like a Star Wars type universe where people continue to come back to this particular universe. Well, what Star Wars did is they created stuff in between that is still canon and move on, like Clone Wars, whatever it is. But your main plot line still takes place in your major, your actual movies as they come out. I mean, like with episodes 1, 2, and 3, you still understand, even though it's 10 years later or whatever it happens to be between 1 and 2, you still understand the fact that those are the same people and what the plot line is going to be, but you can fill in between if you wanted to. But there's nothing lost there, which I think that's where they dropped the ball between 4 and 5, is there's some information that would have been nice to have had. And they just kind of left it out and instead put it in a comic book.
Yeah, yay, comic book. I'm all about reading, but that much auxiliary reading it's the same thing as Bungie asking you to go and read all of the grimoire shit so that you can know the story of the game. It just cheapens the experience, and it's lazy.
They didn't do that with Halo, did they? No Grimoire crap? I know it's a different company.
No,
but...
no, we were talking about the comic book that wrapped up 4.
Okay.
Which was one of my concerns early on when we started seeing stuff about 5. I was like, where's all the stuff about the didact and all that? Because I had no idea that they had wrapped it all up in a comic.
Yeah, I learned about that a little while ago.
Yes, sort of.
So
I did not read the comics, so I'm pretty sure going into Halo 5, you would hear me ranting a lot.
I don't understand. I'm so lost.
Are they do you know if they're treating the multiplayer base any better than they did with Master Chief Collection? Because that was crappy.
Oh my goodness.
It's much better.
Thank God.
Yeah, like playing the multi.
Is it like Destiny? Be honest.
No. The multiplayer is sound and the same in that respect. They did a really good job of combining a lot of franchises that have done really well. One of the things that they've done is they've kind of combined what we love about Halo when it comes to the mechanics and everything that goes along with it. Some of the stuff that was really good about Call of Duty's multiplayer that people enjoyed, and things about Titanfall even that people enjoyed. And so they've did a really good job of combining, but it still feels like Halo, which that's one of the things with it might have been Halo Reach when they introduced certain parts of it that I didn't like, when they had the loadouts and all the other shit that they had on there. I didn't care for that. It didn't feel like Halo to me. Now you could still do the loadouts and stuff like that, but it's not a screen that pops up and then you decide and all that other shit. It's you design your character and you go in and you can load in a certain way if you want to. But the only thing I don't like is there's things called helixes, I think is what they're called, and you can go through and earn them in the game and do all that type of stuff in order to unlock packs. And it's weird because it's almost like they took away from FIFA on this, because they have bronze, silver, and gold packs like FIFA does for Ultimate Team. It's weird. And then that gives you a bunch of stuff that you can put in that's very similar to the way Titanfalls ran, where you have 3 different things that you can, cards, if you will, that you can use to give you a little bit of advantage in the game. But you can also buy them. And that's like me in my particular case, I had like $40 worth of Microsoft credits from when the thing switched over that I didn't even know I had. So I went ahead and bought one of the gold packs for like $3 just to see what it was in it. And it gave me like one rare item, and the rest of it was just stuff that I could use inside that was not a big deal. But it, like, seriously, I think it was to buy a gold pack's like 10,000 credits, and in 2 games I had 10,000 credits.
Right.
So it's not like it's hard to get. It's not like I have to play like 6 games and win and do all that shit, because I suck at it. So no, it wasn't like that. It was just you go in and play the game and be able to do it. So it was good.
Yeah. We've been talking about Halo for a while. Helix is Assassin's Creed. Yes, Wraith is right. Rec packs are Halo. Helix is Assassin's Creed.
Gotcha.
But there's something else that happened this weekend, actually, that I wanted to make sure that we got a chance to mention on the show, because it is a huge deal in the esports world.
Oh boy.
I will just sit back and listen to this one because...
Oh, God. Okay.
Woo.
Esports, is up and coming, and so we'll try to put some of this in perspective for sports fans and like regular sports, so maybe it makes a little more sense. But this weekend, CLG and TSM are 2 of the bigger North American teams for League of Legends. They went to Worlds this year. They competed on international levels. They're pretty big deal. I mean, it's basically like 2 of the best teams from North America. They kind of hate each other, like they're rivals, I guess.
Yeah, they've been rivals for a very long time. 2 of the bigger
football rivals. I would put it in college stuff, but it's like Alabama and Auburn. But is there something on the national NFL level? Who hates each other?
You could do New England and Indianapolis. You could do Chicago Bears and Green Bay. You could do the Cowboys and Eagles, or Cowboys and Giants, or Cowboys.
Okay, all of those people, they hate each other. Well, this weekend we found out that DoubleLift, who was the AD carry for CLG, got kicked from CLG and is now signed to TSM. So went over to the rivals after being kicked off of his team. They're not saying why he got kicked, and the team owner, HotshotGG, came out on Twitter and asked this weekend if he should talk about it and remain transparent or just stay silent on the issue, and what did everybody think. And an hour later, he was like, well, I'm going to enjoy Halloween, so we're going to keep quiet about it for a few more days. It's kind of like getting rid of Tom Brady and then having their coach say, you know what, it's Halloween, so we're not going to tell you why. He's going to the other guys, though.
Yeah, they
And
should have
then
just
just
kept
walking away.
silent and kind of waited for the proper time. Or because this is a lot of publicity towards TSM. Like, they're
Yes.
getting all of the receiving end. All the fans are moving over. All of DoubleLift's fans are moving over. And everybody is so concerned with how CLG is handling the blowback from this. Because it's so out of left field, because at the end of last season's split, CLG won. Like, they were the best team in North America. This squad has been the best that we've ever seen from them.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, they're like, we kick our mid laner, we kick our ADC, we kick our coach. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? It's the best squad we've ever fucking seen, and you're
kicking people.
booting everybody? Why?
Classic CLG.
Internal issues. People didn't agree with everybody. So you don't try to compromise to make your team stronger than it already was.
Here's a question, and I'm throwing this out because I don't know how it works.
No,
Okay?
that's fine.
This
That's
question.
good.
All right.
That's good.
From,
It's fine. Go ahead.
I look at it from a sporting standpoint, because that's basically what they're trying to do, right? Become
Right.
a sport, right?
Right.
All right. And since you used Tom Brady as an example, that's who we'll talk about. Tom
Okay.
Brady is the highest paid person on the Patriots.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
If he was let go for some reason and shipped over to Indianapolis, in this particular case, because it's a rival, that means it's for more pay, most likely, or because they need to get rid of the amount of money that they're paying him in order to free up some money in order to pay somebody else. And so my question is, do you think, Chris, again, from their standpoint, I can't believe, and it might be different just because of the way that their teams are set up, because, again, I don't know the sport like you do.
Right.
Right.
Is it possible that could be part of the issue, is that you've got somebody that goes, well, I'm good enough to do this. I've got a big enough following, everything else. I'm bringing your money in. I need to be paid more than Joe Blow that sits right next to me, and that could be causing part of the conflict. And where it got out that he was getting paid more than he was, than the other guys were, and now you're created an internal conflict because it's not split. Was it 5 ways or 5 players on the team?
5 ways.
Well, 5 players and a coach and an owner. But
Well, there's analysts and coaches and a bunch of
there's
other
a
stuff
lot-
behind the scenes.
There's a lot of staff on their payroll and everything. But one of the other things that I guess would be kind of pertinent to add to this is that because we're dealing with smaller teams, team owners have a bit more say in things like that. And Hotshot GG is
Stupid.
kind of an asshole. Like, he turns into the biggest man-child when he doesn't get his way. And so part of the speculation from the community is that something happened between DoubleLift and Hotshot lost his temper and kicked him off the team.
He did get kicked off the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's confirmed that he got kicked off, not that
Yes.
he was just let go because reasons. It was
Yeah.
he got kicked. So
Now, did he say that he got kicked, or did he?
yes.
Yes, he said that he was kicked from the team.
And he
so,
did it in such a way that he was like, he basically left the ball in their court. He was like, I got kicked off of the team. I'm on TSM now. You know, I'm going to focus all my efforts on this. And he did it very professionally, DoubleLift did, by making that swap and kind of letting you know that it wasn't really his decision to leave CLG, but he wasn't going to dish out the dirt. He was going to leave it in their court to handle on their professional end of it. And then we get Hotshot going, well, I'm not going to talk about it because it's Halloween. I want to go enjoy my holiday.
yeah, they should have specified right after the breakup. They should have been like, "This is our feelings towards this. This is why we have decided that this is the
They were
best
more
for the team."
professional.
No, actually, from a professional standpoint, the best option for him to do that is due to the fact that we are dealing with professional athletes, because they look at
Right,
themselves
yes.
as professional athletes.
Right.
We do not discuss internal affairs in that way, but we wish him the best, and he is no longer part of our
But
team.
they didn't say that.
Yeah, they should have done
And-
one or the other, but instead
Yeah.
they're like, we need to decide whether we want to talk about this or not.
And
It's
you
like,
don't throw that question out on Twitter. It is not a professional move to be like, hey, Twitter, do you think we should tell you why we kicked him to the curb? Because if you want to know, we'll think about it. Oh, well, now it doesn't matter what you said, because basically the response was, yeah, we want to know what happened. CLG was like at its peak. What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, the golden
And then he
age.
was like, yeah, no, we'll just let it simmer for a few days. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, it's like
Don't say anything
you're
then.
just
Here's
building
the
hype
PR
for the
move
other
that
team.
you should have done. You should have said, we understand that everybody's confused about the DoubleLift situation. We will give we will have a meeting about it and let you know what happened as soon as we can. we wish him the best of luck. But instead, it's kind of like, I'm a petty dickbag, because really Hotshot is, and I'm going to make a big deal about it on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I mean, social media is not the best place to.
No, it's really not. You as a team owner should know better.
And I know from experience, social media is not the way to experience some of that stuff. But at the same time, I don't know, from a professional standpoint, it sounds like anybody can own a fucking team. I mean, as long as you got the money.
Not a good team. No, that's not how that works.
If you get sponsored as a team, Riot Games will pay your players. Like, they give you money to pay your players. You have to go through this long process. When you become a professional team working in the NALCS, the League Championship Series, they pay you. So you have to go through the Challenger circuit, in through the Challenger Series, and then if you win a Challenger Series, then you get to take one of the places of the NA League Championship teams. And then you get to be paid, and then you become professional and all of that stuff, and sponsorships and things like that.
But who's the owner then?
Hotshot GG is the owner.
The owner of CLG is actually George, which is Hotshot GG. And they currently actually, in addition to letting DoubleLift go, at the same time, recently, they also let go of their current head coach, which was Chris, I can't remember his full name, as well as Pobelter.
Which is their mid laner.
From what was going around, rumor-wise, nothing confirmed, but rumor-wise, Pobelter, Chris had a disagreement with Hotshot about certain things going on. DoubleLift sided with Chris, as well as Pobelter during the situations. Chris and Pobelter were released, so in that, I think DoubleLift got very aggressive with Hotshot, and then DoubleLift was then released. Honestly, and they probably were saying to get rid of him in negativity so they could rebuild the team. But all I can say is this, is you just got rid of 80% of your fan base. Because most of the people who like CLG watch for DoubleLift. That's the only reason I rooted for CLG, was because I watched CLG back when Season 1, Season 2. TSM versus CLG, the two starting teams. Hotshot GG, DoubleLift, Dyrus were all on the same team when they were all in Epic Gamer. Epic Gamer disbanded, CLG and TSM were formed, with Reginald as well as all of them. TSM completely restarting their team because of everything that fell apart. Dyrus is gone. Odd One's
Dyrus
gone.
retired, though, to be fair. He didn't
quit.
Dyrus. Get kicked.
But at the same time, there's so many teams right now resetting. This is the worst time CLG could have gotten rid of DoubleLift, because at the same time, DoubleLift has 5 teams he can go to.
ADC in NA. Do you really think that he doesn't have options?
He was, I think, 3rd or 4th in world, actually. They dubbed him, like, the 4th best in the world underneath Uzi. Because Uzi's #1 right now, followed by, who the hell else was it?
You're just going to throw out some statistics here. Look at you.
This is the only game I know crap about.
I'm just going to sit back and chill for a minute.
But
this is what we feel like when you start talking FIFA to us. So
it
now
really
you know.
is.
It's fine.
And the situation is even if DoubleLift, like, let's say, for instance, DoubleLift didn't go to TSM. DoubleLift can make a profession off streaming alone right now.
Yes.
Because he gets so much following.
Fucking huge.
But
and that's the thing that people are
he wanted much more international. Like, he wants to be able to be, and this is everybody knows.
Not the whole team.
Yeah, he wants to play on an international level. He wants to face all the European teams, Korean teams, Chinese teams. He
wants to win worlds. I mean, that's a huge aspiration.
He wants to be known in worlds. Like, they went into worlds as, oh my god, everyone should be terrified of CLG. When they got completely stomped out, and C9 was the one showing everybody up, and they destroyed C9 in the NALCS. And the scary thing on top of that is the fact that DoubleLift of CLG is the exact same thing that was a problem with TSM. TSM had Bjergsen. Bjergsen was imported from Europe back in Season 3, and Bjergsen completely destroyed the NA scene. Nobody could compare to him in mid, and he was carrying TSM. Dyrus started falling off because the metas were switching out, as well as Chaos was having his issues with not giving a crap about the team. Xpecial was being really whiny and complainy. It's Xpecial. He's very passive-aggressive. That's why he got removed, and that's why he's gone from Team Liquid now.
Yes.
And
actually, if you want to get technical, the reason why he got kicked off of Team Liquid is because Piglet is a little baby. Like, and I am being 100% honest.
No, it's true.
Piglet is a whiny, and if he hears this, he's a whiny child. If it's not his way, he cries about it because he feels like he is the best AD carry in the world. He won the world championship once, so he is the best ever was, and he really did not like Xpecial. So the chemistry there, it wasn't.
Never gonna work.
Yeah, so because Team Liquid thinks that Piglet is a god and feed into his ego, They let X Special go.
Yep. And Team Liquid didn't even make top 4. No, they made 4. They got 4th.
Yeah, they got the curse of forever 4th.
Yes.
And the sad part is, like, to also cement the issue with inside of CLG is you had Skara as a coach, and Skara even stepped down because there were certain situations he didn't want to speak about. And I'm like, if you're making Skara, who was an ex-Dignitas top player, leave, it's over. Because Skara left Dignitas, as well as I'm a Cutie Pie, who was their prime ADC. All you have left on Dignitas right now is
Kiwi Kid.
Kiwi Kid. Whatever happened to your guy that you liked a lot? I can't remember his name. He played everything.
I don't know.
Chicken likes a lot of streamers.
Oh my God, what was his name?
League players.
He was really popular.
We'll
Played every
never
champion.
remember.
Went through every champion.
I don't know.
Or was he on Curse? He was on Curse. My bad.
Voyboy?
Yep, boy.
Yeah, Voyboy. He makes a living off streaming now. He's really fucking cool. Very, very good at teaching you about the game.
Oh yeah.
So.
And now, like, I'm concerned with, even though Afromoo and DoubleLift have now acknowledged that they really don't have a friendship outside of working together on the team.
Which is weird. They seem like friends.
They were just
besties.
for the face.
They were good. I think they initially were friends when working, but they're not like friends outside of it. You know what I mean?
If you listen to one of Skara's previous interviews after he quit, he even said that the chemistry between Afro and DoubleLift was never there.
That sucks.
It's just,
Yeah.
but I'm curious on, like, is Afromoo gonna stay with that team? Because
Probably.
I really hope he does not.
I hope
and
he
moves to
leaves.
I hope he goes to
C9.
Cloud9.
Yeah, but he's under. If he doesn't get kicked, he's under contract, right? So
Everybody's contract just ran out.
Yep.
Well, in that case, peace out, bitches.
And if Afro's contract, sorry, Oaktree, I just wanted to say this, because DoubleLift's gone. If Afro leaves, I don't want Zion Spartan to stay there. Zion Spartan needs to get out while he can before he gets stuck, because he came from GGU, which was Good Game University, and then turned into Team Coast. They were a no group, but Zion Spartan was like, oh my God, top laner nightmare. He's beating Dyrus. What's going on right now? So when GGU and Coast fell apart, they did terrible. He ended up leaving, going to CLG, and CLG started looking like, oh my God, we have this hyper-aggressive team. It's amazing. And I personally think if you were to import Zion as well as DoubleLift into TSM, you have this hyper-aggressive overall team, whereas DoubleLift, Bjergsen, as well as Zion, that's hard dive teams right there. Give DoubleLift his Jinx, give Zion his Riven, give Azir to Bjergsen. It's over. It doesn't matter who your jungler or support is at that point.
Yeah, our dream team at the moment for TSM would be, and I think this is still within ruling, because the rule is you cannot recruit 3 people from the same team.
So they couldn't take Afromoo and Zion
yes,
because they already have
DoubleLift. Because that's a rule. You cannot poach that many people from a different team. They have to basically be like, oh, we don't want this team, let's all 5 of these players go, we're going to take them and brand them ours. No, you can't do that. You could take a couple, but then the rest have to be spread out and they have to be available for other teams. But our dream team for TSM would be Zion, Rush, Bjerg, DoubleLift, and Adrian. Now, those 5 motherfuckers...
But I'm wondering if you could, because I'm looking at it from the standpoint, like, let's say I liked working with DoubleLift, right? But now I wasn't going to be able to because they already took him, my buddy, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got to find myself another team. So what I would do is, and I just look at it from this standpoint. I don't know if these guys have agents or not, but from an agent standpoint, I look at it in this way. Go sign a 1-year contract with a smaller team and then go back to the other team.
Yep, you could do that.
Yeah,
it's a
could do that.
loophole.
You can.
Yeah. So because because that's the way it works a lot of times. Like even like when you're dealing with college sports, if you're dealing with a college sport, like if you played at, let's say you played at, I don't know, Michigan. All right, you played the University of Michigan. You decided that you wanted to leave there because they didn't have, I don't know, whatever field you're going into, underwater basket weaving, whatever it happens to be, and you leave there. So then you end up going to, let's say, Clemson, okay, and you end up deciding that you want to play at Clemson. Well, you have to take 1 year off. You can't play for one single year of whatever sport it happens to be, as long as it's an NCAA registered sport. You can't do that, and that allows you to be able to play after that. So it keeps people from recruiting straight from one university to the other, and kind of keeps it to where nope, you can have a year off. The only exception is if you're I think it's a 5th year senior and you go to graduate school, you get to play immediately. So that's the only exception. So, but when you're dealing with professional sports, there's no exception like that. So
right.
I
The
gotcha,
only
okay.
sucky part with League of Legends that I feel is you can fall off the scene so quickly. And the second you're off the scene, it's over. Like there were so many players that I loved in League of Legends that I'll still watch streaming that are still amazing, but it's so hard to get back in the scene because you're not constantly viewed by the community because there's already popular people out there. The way you become known so much on the community is by trying out for teams, streaming all the time, people acknowledging you and everything. Like, I'll be bluntly honest, Dyrus was so well known for being on TSM, but he deteriorated over the year. I don't feel he played as good as he used to. But at the same time, he's always going to be sought after because it's Dyrus. You know Dyrus. You know it's like, say, if Tom Brady broke his arm and he still has one arm, people are still going to want him. Why? Because it's Tom fucking Brady.
Well, I mean, look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was in Indianapolis.
Oh crap! Sorry, football.
Yeah, he broke his neck. Okay,
Damn.
And didn't break it. He had surgery on his neck.
Right.
But it was from injury from football and everything else. Indianapolis says you're done. You're not going to be able to play again. He took an entire year off for an entire season. Denver picks him up, and now he's still one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. And they're sucktastic at the moment. So, that's it's dumb. I'm sorry. It's like when you look at professional sports, you got to look at it how great the person is. And
it's all popularity.
Yeah. I mean,
especially given, like, for instance, Cloud9, their top laner, like, they made the running joke forever was the top laner wasn't even in the top division of the game. He was in Diamond 2, which is 2 divisions underneath the top thing, and everyone's just making running jokes about it. And it's just like, he's a good person with the team. And he's popular, but he was Diamond 2. That was the funny part.
Yeah.
And then you have to look at also, like, what was I thinking? Crap. I lost it.
Oh, God, there it goes.
Oh, no. It's Red's done.
Blame it on the ADD.
No.
But
it was just
people like Dyrus things like that and DoubleLift, they create brands. Like when you think DoubleLift, you know who it is in the esports world. He has been around for so long that his name is now a brand. It's evolved. It's just like Dyrus, Bjergsen. People have been around for so long. It doesn't matter if you quit or you're not playing professional anymore. That's when it's basically like retirement, if you want to think about it. They just retire into streaming, and because they've been around for so long, they have such a fan base, they can live like that because they've created a brand with their name. So,
well, but think about it from this standpoint. Like, since we have been comparing it to a regular professional sport, the average retirement age of usually any professional sport is going to be right around 40, maybe a little older than that if in baseball. But for every other sport, it's right around 40 years old.
I think it's like 25, if that.
Right, but the thing is they wouldn't have to. I mean, yes, your reflexes get slower and things like that, but mentally, your mindset changes a little bit. So they could technically go for a long time. And it's the same thing like he was talking about going into the Twitch world. If you're streaming in order to create, and you already have a large following, and you stream to create your revenue, I mean, you could do that until regular retirement age.
Yep.
And make good money doing it. Because I mean, I'm thinking about because I look at Twitch numbers. And I know that when League's going, that we're dealing with 500,000 or more watching it at one time. So if you're saying this guy's as popular as he is, and I'll use one that I know has a big following, which is Co, because I watch him, Co Carnage, and like he might have anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 people watching him at one time. League is so much more popular, and it's consistent, right? Because people are consistently going there to watch that.
Right.
That's a shit ton of money, and Co does this for a living.
Yep.
So he's doing it at 5,000 to 8,000 average, and you probably figure not even half of those people are actually subscribing to him. Now you got 25,000 to 50,000 people watching you play,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah.
And not even half doing it. You're making probably 2-3 times the amount of money that Co Carnage is, and your job is to play video games.
Yep. That's the world we live in now. It's a wonderful world to be able to live in, and kind of if you can entertain well enough and people like you, they will watch you instead of watching TV.
Right.
So I mean,
Walt does.
Yeah, I asked my internet service.
Yeah, which is what I really like about, I guess, this part of our generation. Some other parts are not so good.
And I think one thing I wanted to touch on that's what I was trying to remember is when it came back to League and people staying apparent in the scene, one reason a lot of people fall out of the scene is because every year the game changes. The game drastically changes from a certain style of meta meaning like the setup of champions and the setup of the game. Whereas like last year we introduced a lot of bruisery champions, a lot of big beefy guys who could just run into your team and kill you all. So certain people who got very pronounced in certain roles started becoming terrible because like I play assassins. I can murder your little guys. Okay, now we're in this meta where all shut up, really. Now we're
Murder
in this
your little
meta.
guys. Come on now. You could have thought
Now
of
we're in this
something
meta
better.
to where assassins don't really exist right now in the professional scene. And those who are so proficient in assassins, they're not really doing good. They're getting like just destroyed, which is one of the reasons Dyrus fell off so hard was because Dyrus played these big bruiser top laners that was like, okay, I won my top lane, it's over. I'm gonna win the whole game now. Now it's like you do anything wrong, it's over. And then like the sad thing I was thinking now is stacking so many top players on one team for TSM, I feel is going to be really good for Worlds. But am I going to enjoy watching the NALCS? Because it's like, okay, well, who's the good teams now? I have TSM and Cloud9. Who else am I watching?
Well,
Okay, I got a question for you. Thank you for saying that, Red, because I just brought up this question. All right. Here's my question for you, because you're talking about how the game's evolved, right? And from a standpoint of most video games, what draws us in and has that replayability is the fact that it does continue to evolve, right? What I want to buy this game is because it continues to do it. And with League of Legends, it's a free-to-play game. You can continue to go in, but they do change some of the mechanics and stuff that goes on to make it either more user-friendly or just to change it up to where you have to be on your the top of
Right.
your game in order to be able to play it, right?
right.
So
Right.
here's my thought process. And we're going to look at it from a sporting standpoint. The game of American football has changed tremendously. It's gone from being a power game to where you gave the ball over to your running back or your fullback and piled right up the middle of everything that was going on to a more spread option where people are moving the ball around a little bit more and all that. And originally it was power, and then they went to wishbone, which was more, kind of like the spread option, stuff like that. But it continues to evolve. The game continues to evolve, so one team gets better than the other and everything else. Do you think decisions that are going to be made over the next, we'll say 5 years, because the sport is still relatively new,
Mm-hmm.
are going to be made team to team, and some of these bigger names that you've seen are going to have to leave the game, not based on the fact that they're just tired of playing the game, but because the sport itself has changed?
I don't think I could foresee teams leaving because of changes to the game. I think, and I'm going to sound probably rude for saying this, but people growing up and like retiring over time, changing out the people who are playing. A lot of people, like for instance, I'll be honest, Koreans are on the scene. We'll never win a world as long as Koreans are on the scene now. It's the harsh reality. It's like
It's because they take that shit way more seriously.
it's
Yes.
an acknowledged professional sport there. It's televised, it is accepted, and it's socially acceptable. Whereas over here, my mother's probably judging me right now because I'm talking to you guys about video games for the last hour. She's already questioned, "Are you talking about a sport?" Yes,
Yes, it
we
is
are.
a sport. I mean, it's a different kind of sport. It's an e-sport. You have to use your mind. You have to use your reflexes. I mean, you're not running or swimming or anything like that. Sorry, I was just reading chat and that's what came into my head. But you're not using your more physical. You're using a little bit more mental capabilities to your sport, which I feel is still just a sport. It's a different kind of sport. It's like chess. You use your brain.
And
So-
I'm sorry, I totally veered off your question, but I think League of Legends as a game will stay around so long as it keeps evolving. Do I foresee games challenging League of Legends to be more like, for instance, I haven't watched StarCraft in so long because I'm so into League. Who's to say there isn't that next game that's going to come out and then a lot of the people slowly start deteriorating on League? But at the same time, it just, as long as the game keeps evolving healthily, quote unquote healthily, because it'll keep going. However, though, like all of us, like for instance, Chick and myself, we looked at the patch notes for this season's pre-season, and we're looking like, okay, this is a jumble of garbage. What are they thinking? This balanced team is the most retarded balanced team I've ever seen in my existence.
Well, it's because they don't balance. They
Create an idea.
take turns letting a certain meta be dominant, and in my opinion, this was the worst fucking Worlds experience ever, because 2 weeks before Worlds, they're like, we're going to completely change up the whole entire game. We're going to add in things that are going to completely rework everything that you guys have been playing with this whole season. And everyone's like,
What?
Why? What are you
Beca-
doing?
And I feel that because some teams couldn't adapt fast enough, that they were left behind. They only had 2 weeks to learn everything new
They
about
really
the game.
did. That was terrible.
And it's like some of the best teams were like, all of the stuff that we've been practicing all season,
It's
all
gone.
of the stuff that we've been learning and we've been improving doesn't
Gone.
work anymore. It's like, holy shit, we just got thrown off the fucking bus.
That bruiser patch should have been preseason. That should not have been allowed
Or
to
at
go
least
into...
in the mid-season, like before Worlds or before summer split, it should have been that whole split so that everybody could learn how the game reworked, had a whole season to play with a bunch of different stuff, and then into Worlds so that everybody could have like broken things out, because SKT is basically the best team in the world, period.
They're gonna continue to be the best team forever. The
Yeah.
They're
end.
the Korean hype train. I mean, I don't blame them.
They
It's
have a
Faker.
god on their team. It's not fair
He
to the rest
rolled.
of the team.
He did a roll. He tumbled on the stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
They all walked in.
Wouldn't it
they
have
all
really
waved
sucked though if
happily.
his little happy roll, "I'm gonna be flashy," would have ended up hurting him and they lost the worlds
laughed so
for that?
hard. You
Oh
can't-
man.
You can't hurt a god, but
Stop believing.
you can't hurt a god.
Don't
But
stop believing.
damn it, Oak Tree. I'm not even the one singing right now.
But I wanted to touch on your question, Oak. The reason why teams will never quit is because they can do exactly what TSM is doing now. Darius retired. Their jungler went back to Europe. Their ADC they're replacing. Their support went back to Korea. They're like, all right, let's just start all over. Let's get all brand new players who have a shitload of potential and just bring them onto the team. Give them a few splits to practice up. Get together working as a team. A team in Europe, the only remaining player on that team was their support. The staff on that team was like, all right, you support, you get to choose your entire team. He went through the challenger scene, picked out 4 players. They made it to the semifinals.
Are you talking about Fnatic?
Yeah.
With them?
They made it all the way to the semifinals with a brand new team.
And they were really good.
Yeah, it's because they have potential and they work together, and eventually in 2 or 3 years you're gonna have to be like, sorry guys, your potential has been reached. We're gonna have to find someone who can be better
That's an
than
awful
you.
way to put it. You peaked, get out, and they're all like 22.
Yeah, but
It's
again,
how it
it's
works.
professional sports.
Yeah,
I mean,
it really
I mean,
is.
you think about it, because at some point, it's actually going to happen. It might be next year, it might be the year after. Somebody's actually going to say, "Tom Brady, you need to retire."
Yep.
And when that happens, guess what? He has to retire,
Yeah.
or he'll do the same thing that Joe Montana did, or Steve Young did, or whatever, and he'll go to another team and wash out. And it's just, but what everybody remembers is the fact that Joe Montana and Steve Young played for the San Francisco 49ers, and they were fantastic Super Bowl champion type people.
And then they were
And they'll remember the same thing about
Faker. That's his name, Faker.
Yeah, Faker the playmaker. He's a legend in the esports world, but
Okay.
he is the god. But I forgot what I was gonna say now.
You should have seen him play StarCraft back in the day. Holy crap.
Oh my god.
It
We're
was
gonna have to start
14.
wrapping this up. You guys have been talking about this for seriously like 25 minutes,
Alright,
which
well-
is good, but
Yeah, all right, fine. Then I wanted to jump on something real quick that I found really neat that Griff told me earlier.
oh, what did I tell you earlier?
Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. 100 pretty badass people who actually read the end user license agreement. There was a little quote inside there that
It's like section 16.
that actually said that if you read this, and for the people who actually read this, send us an email. Here's our email. We will give you all the other Larian Studio games for being very perceptive.
And they did.
And they also wrote that we have the right to end this at any time. So as soon
I
as
think
100
they probably
people came
would have
through.
done that. Well, it specified the first 100 people in the EULA, but I
It was
kinda
really
wonder if it was,
fucking
like,
neat.
10 people maybe found it, and then somebody posted it on the internet, and then everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, let's get on this."
Well, then they
It
would have
was
just cut it
probably
off.
people found it, and then every one of those told 10 of their friends, and done, right? So
I'm
Which-
foreseeing a South Park human Sentai pad vid
No.
coming
Which
up
was
again.
really fucking neat. So I kind of like that little secret that they had in their end user.
God, what if Apple did that?
What if a lot of companies did that? Like,
I mean,
any
I
of
wouldn't
the-
have sold my kidney like 2 years ago, but
But
There is
it's
one
pretty
game
neat.
I saw that I'm really excited about though.
What?
What?
If you say
Detroit.
Outlast 2, I'm gonna die.
Detroit.
Oh.
Oh, Detroit looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does.
But,
Ooh.
you know,
Yeah, okay, I never thought I'd hear somebody ever say that Detroit looks beautiful. Oh my god.
In that game.
Thanks.
And
Okay,
to be
thank you.
fair, I came from Detroit. It's a very beautiful. It was a beautiful
is.
city. It's unfortunately collapsed due to times, but hey, it was amazing before, and hopefully in the future it looks amazing.
But Detroit seems to be like the set of everything because it's Deus Ex, right? In the Human
I
Revolution.
said that it's the point of fucking androids and cyborgs and shit for some fucking RoboCop, Deus Ex.
Well, in the Undead, you got the Crow.
Yup.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Devil's Night apparently is in Detroit, Flint, and Grand Rapids. I never knew that until this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Congratulations on being like, way behind.
I
But-
thought I don't leave here. I just go to Alabama and then.
Well, regardless, Detroit's a good city, and the game looks
Amazing.
fantastic.
Well, and see, the thing is I saw, I don't remember which game it was that David Cage did before. I don't remember if it was Beyond Two Souls or if it was Heavy Rain. But if you beat the game, then you got a clip of a new PS3 game that was going to be coming out, and that was the PS3 game. I can't remember. It was Project something, whatever her name
Project
is.
Kara.
Kara.
Yep.
And it was the whole thing. And if you watch that clip, the Project Kara clip, oh my god, like the emotion, the distress, everything that goes along with it. Obviously, it's a PS3 versus a PS4, but the new stuff. I'm so glad that they finally have built this game and are making it. And
We probably won't see it again until E3 though.
which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to see it again until I play it.
Can we see
Yeah.
the vision at E3, please?
Because
Sorry.
otherwise I'll be going, oh my god, oh my god. But it's I just think it looks beautiful. It's absolutely great, and the only thing I know I'm gonna hate is the gameplay. But
Because
I'm
it's David Cage and it's gonna be let's
but-
watch this movie.
But
with
as long
QuickTime
as you
events.
go into the game going, this is how it's going to be, and I am ready for this to be this way, then it's gonna hit you a little less.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Beyond Two Souls. I knew going in because of Heavy Rain. I knew going into it this is what it was going to be. And actually, Heavy Rain to me was more tasking than Beyond Two Souls was.
Put on
so
this
maybe
mascara. Change this baby diaper. No, David Cage, stop it.
yeah, it was crazy. I didn't understand. Why did I need to put the fucking mascara on?
Now you know what will upset me.
I don't
'cause
know
this
how to
probably
So
will
scared I
happen.
was gonna poke her damn eye. I was.
Oh
I
god.
guarantee you, we're seeing these trailers right now of this, and we'll eventually get an E3 gameplay trailer. We'll just say that. Guarantee you, the actual gameplay will not look as good as E3, even if I buy it on the computer. Because for some odd reason, every game I ever see as trailer at E3 is never the actual gameplay trailer I get in game.
Have you played a David Cage game before? Red.
Sorry, I was lagging really bad. I just came back to you.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
lagging.
Is that about David Cage?
Have you played a David
Can you
Cage?
name me some? I don't believe I have.
Heavy Rain.
Beyond Two Souls.
He's not
A
as
little
big
bit
of
of
a
Heavy Rain, not
PlayStation.
too much though.
All right, my recommendation to you is this: I'd pick up Heavy Rain before I'd pick up Beyond Two Souls, just because you need to see how intense his shit is about how meticulous he is about the fact you have to change a baby diaper and put mascara on. But
Really?
yeah, I'm not kidding. But the actual for a PS3, the graphics were unbelievable, and
Okay.
and then when you go to Beyond Two Souls, it looks even better. And it was right at the end before the PS4 came out that Beyond Two Souls was released. It's kind of like Last of Us. Last of Us looked fantastic on a PS3. Just looked even better on a PS4. And I think that's what you're going to get. He is able, because of the fact there's not that much gameplay, it's mainly QuickTime events and using
They
your
can
stick
invest
and
more in the
stuff.
graphic.
He
instead
can
of
invest
actual
more in the graphic.
gameplay.
Yeah, because you're playing a movie. Essentially.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And so
Speaking
that-
of PlayStation, guess who got one this weekend?
The one who's using sticky notes to hide the color.
Oh, I had to. Look at this thing. I put Post-it notes on it because it's so freaking.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
wanna
it's
look
like a
at it.
fucking flashlight.
Yeah, the bar on the controller is so goddamn bright.
That can't be good for battery life.
I don't know. Thanks,
So
Mom and Dad.
are you going to stream Uncharted since you will not play it outside of the thing?
I
You
will
know.
play it outside of the thing. It's just a 50 gig download right now, so I had to wait until
She just
after
totally got
October
sassed with you
ended.
right there.
No, I've got the disc. You could just borrow the disc and then just use your licensing later.
Well, I've
Right.
already. Well, I've got it set up to install. I just need to install it. But Yeah, I mean, I'll play it, but I don't know about streaming it. Chicken's the one that does most of our streaming nowadays, so I let him handle most of the streaming stuff, and I do
but
Let's
if you
Plays.
stream it, then she's not gonna play it.
I am gonna play
She'll
it.
play
Oh my
it.
god, I don't understand why you think I am not gonna play this goddamn game.
Or
It's
you'll
goddamn
play-
Nathan Drake.
She'll play it before me, and then I'll play it.
Well, if she plays it before you, I'm fine with that. But what's gonna happen? She's not gonna be in the stream if you're streaming it because she wants to play.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll wait till after she's done, and then I'll play it.
Have they announced any holiday sales coming up yet for any systems? Because I still don't have a PS4. I've considered it, but I wanted to
PS4
wait until like
I think they just had a price drop.
They did a price drop. We got ours with like
Target.
Well, you don't do Target as much as we do, but we've got the Target card and Cartwheel, and we had another coupon, and they did price matching. So we got the Uncharted bundle for a lot less than it should have been.
I think it was like $320, $315.
Okay, that's actually really nice.
No, we got it for like $300 even.
No,
yeah,
but I would look into Red there's a 1 terabyte drive now, but what we were figuring out the other day, we were talking about it on my stream last week, was the fact that there is now, with 1 terabyte drives, they've kind of gone back on some of their processors, a little slower on one of them or something. Something's a little slower. No Pants could probably tell you more information because he's the one that looked it up. But you have to don't get a certain model of it. If you do, then it's going to be slower than the 500 gigabyte version. I don't exactly know how all that works, but No Pants was the one that was looking it up for me because somebody was talking about it, and basically the 1 terabyte drive is the technology is not as up to date as the 500 gigabyte, which makes no sense because that 1 terabyte came after the 500 gig. But
well, we got that, and then I instantly ran over and borrowed your Second Son and Last of Us. So I started Second Son. I like running around spray painting things. It's so pretty.
All right, I would hate to wrap this up, but we're almost at an hour and a half.
Yeah, I know. We need to be done.
So I mean,
I'm gonna go now.
It was a good show for sure. We talked a lot about a lot of stuff.
I'm sorry, that's what happens when you get me talking about League of Legends. I'm
Well, it was League of Legends and Halo. We spent quite a while on that, so it's not like it's just League of Legends. There was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of talking. There were things that needed to be said.
Like 35 minutes.
It was a good show. I hope you guys enjoyed it for sure.
I did.
Appreciate everybody that hangs out each and every week here on Infinite Respawn. Those of us that listen to the audio later, it's twitch.tv/Infinite Respawn PC. You can also check us out twitter.com/Infinite Res PC. Check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Griff.
At Griff Slineham.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Red.
Oh crap!
At red underscore
rings.
There you go.
I forgot what it was.
Red underscore ring for those that might have gotten the 2 numbers on their own. Make sure that you do check us out on Steam as well. You can go on there, Infinite Respawn PC or IR Gaming. Be part of the community. Go to infiniteRespC.com. Get on there, join the forums.
Talk to me. I'm talking to myself there.
Make sure that you hug Griff thoroughly, because all the bots that showed up on our stuff, she personally went through and individually deleted and banned every single one of them.
Yeah.
And the other day, trust me, I know because my phone was blowing up how angry she was. But the but she did an awesome job, and we greatly appreciate everything she does for the show as usual. Pretty much make sure you check her out on YouTube as well, because on there she's got her Let's Play. She just finished up Silent Hill.
I'm working on finishing it up. I'll have the rest of the videos up this week. I think there's only like 3 or 4, but one of them had an audio issue that I'm going to try to go back and fix today.
Have we made a decision on the next one yet, or are you still working?
I don't know. I can't start it next week because Foxy is coming down on Saturday, which is my record dates. So I still have a week to think about it. Yay!
Yay!
But I haven't decided yet, so we'll see.
Okay. Oh, we'll figure it out then. So we do appreciate everybody that comes in and hangs out, and make sure that you check out my stream tonight. I'll be grinding through Mad Max some more, and hang out with us, and the apocalypse. It's fantastic.
Yay.
It's a mad world, folks. It's a mad world.
Yeah, I'll see you guys an hour and a half in. We got an hour and a half Walking Dead tonight.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, is it an hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
I'll be watching it on Monday, so I am caught up.
Yay!
Everyone, give him a clap.
Yay!
It only took him forever.
Yeah, well, but see, now I'm mad because I have to be in the same state that you all are and go, what? No, I gotta wait a week. No.
but it can't end like this. I need to know. It's just like, no, you
Oh
are you
my God.
sure?
All right, let's wrap this up before we go on for another
Yes,
hour talking
about
about
Walking
Walking Dead.
Oh, so
Fair
in League
enough.
of Legends.
No.
Shut up. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
I'm red.
See ya.
Bye.
Later. Do the dance out now. You're supposed to dance.
Red said no.
Disappointment.
No,
Disappointment.